Hey guys, Mad Science here, and today I am back for day number 20, I think I'm at now. Oh my gosh, almost at 3 weeks. Yeah, day 20 of r/PettyRevenge. Today I have 5 stories, which is interesting to hear. But this subreddit doesn't really have large, medium, or small, so I don't know what I'm doing. First up, roommate kept using my stuff, so I put something into the toothpaste. Oh no! Don't be glue. Oh, okay. I had this roommate. He kept using my stuff in secret. I didn't notice this in the first few weeks, but soon realized that he had not only been using my toothpaste, but also fragrance, deodorant spray, shampoo, and all kinds of stuff from the fridge, ketchup, sauces, etc. It just didn't make any sense how quickly these different products emptied. He used them more than I did. For example, I only used the fragrance when I went out in the weekend, but after 2 weeks, almost a quarter was gone. Since I always had to leave early in the morning, he had the freedom to use whatever he wanted. One evening I asked him about this. He denied everything with big surprised eyes and swore that he only used his stuff. So I set a trap for him. I chose the toothpaste tube because it was almost empty. I took a straw and poured a bit of salt inside. Since the toothpaste had already some kind of crystals inside, it was perfect for the salt crystals to blend in the mix. I placed the tube back where it was and waited for him to go brush his teeth. There he went a bit before midnight. Started brushing, and a few seconds later I heard gagging noises, and after a few more seconds I heard him vomiting in the toilet. I guess he didn't like the mix of sweet toothpaste and salt. When he finally dared to come out of the bathroom, he was fake smiling as if nothing happened, and he stopped using my stuff after that. Or at least didn't use as much. It's just like, gotta love those roommates. They're just like, I'm entitled to your stuff because we live in the same fucking house. Like, we live in the same room, so I'm entitled to what you own. Not how that works. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy that's just like, I own your stuff because we live in the same house. When an Uber driver refuses to return your stuff. Oh no. First of all, I understand leaving something behind in an Uber is a pain in the ass for the driver. Uber has recently added a $15 fee for a driver returning an item, which I completely support, and in the past, I've given a driver a $20 tip for returning my item. So now to my story. Late Friday night, I left both my phone and my wallet in an Uber on my way home from a party. I thought they might have been left at the party, so I waited until Saturday morning to check out before reaching out to the Uber driver. My phone is off, so no luck with Find My iPhone, which is strange because I went out with a full charge. My friend is unable to find it at his place, so I reach out to the driver. I try him a few times throughout the day, and I either get his voicemail or he answers and immediately hangs up. I understand they work weird hours, so no alarms yet. Finally I get through and he confirms he has the phone, but says he can't meet today. When I ask when he can meet, he starts to pretend he can't hear me and says, hello, before hanging up. I try him the rest of Saturday and Sunday, getting the same voicemail, hang up, run around. I reach out to Uber, who reaches out to him, directly asking about my items. Monday morning, Uber tells me he doesn't have them, and despite me telling them that he confirmed that he did on Saturday, they were about as helpful as you expect. I get a hold of the driver Monday afternoon after repeated attempts, which is only the second time I've ever spoken to him at this point. His story is now that he doesn't have them. When I say I'm going to the cops, he says to get the cops involved, he hesitates for a second, but then doubles down and says he can prove he doesn't have them. What? I filed a police report, and then, as a last-ditch effort, I decided to take the number I got from his answering machine. Uber connects you via phone rather than giving you their number, and texts them offering $200 for my items returned, no questions asked. Well, guys, as luck would have it, he found my phone and wallet. My offer must have made him magically appear out of thin air. I grabbed $200 from the bank and we arranged a meeting time, which he repeatedly moves. I'm having to do this all without a phone, so shout out to my lovely wife for coordinating this all. Very good grammar. He's apparently very excited during this call, and is asking how his reward will be paid. I wait in the rain for an hour for this guy, in a sea of downtown Chicago Ubers. Finally, I spot his car, confirm it's him, and jump into the front seat. I pull out the money and ask to see my stuff, which he pulls out of the center console and places near me. I start counting the money on my lap, and once I reach 200, I pick it up, take my wallet and phone, and say, "Here you go," without handing it to him. Without handing it to him. I book it out of the car and don't look back. I go the opposite way he's facing it, so he can't follow me, and I make my way to a pedestrian-only courtyard. Surprise, surprise, my phone is turned off with plenty of battery left, which means he turned it off so I couldn't find it. I feel for Uber drivers who have to deal with customers leaving stuff behind, but I would happily have worked with him to make it as convenient as possible to return my things. Refusing to coordinate, then lying about having things that you find is theft. And it felt great to pull a fast one on this asshole. God damn it. He purposely turned off your phone so you couldn't find it. Oh, father, I'm dying from that one. I'm not. I just had to cough. It's just so dumb. It's like, he wanted to just be annoying for the sake of being annoying. Want us to carry the project? Have fun getting embarrassed in class. Final year of university. I'm in a literature class. I apologize if I can't pronounce literature. I just can't. It's just a hard word for me. I really need to pass with flying colours. The time comes to do group projects. And imagine my disarray when the girl I affectionately refer to as Airhead is in our group. Airhead spends most of her tutorial lessons on her laptop, adding clothes to her wish list. And whenever questioned about something, would say, I don't know, in a very cutesy way to suggest she could get off the hood. Off the hood? Roll with that. When we did writing homework, she copied and pasted hers from fan fiction websites. Of course, we get given quite a big book to study, and I'm pretty sure Airhead isn't going to read it. In our group meeting, she pretty much says, I'm terrible at group stuff. I'm going to let you lead and do a lot of the creative work. Just let me do what the book's definition is, and you can talk about the themes. I know Airhead is going to just get a synopsis of the book from somewhere, and sure enough, when she sends through the details, it matches to a book review on the first result of Google. Nothing changed. Feeling petty because I needed those grades and worked damn hard, I hit up my English tutor who had been starting to lump me and Airhead together, assuming I was also lazy. I let him know that Airhead was also using stolen material, hadn't read the book at all, and could me and my other group members be marked separately. Delightedly, he agreed. The day of the presentation, Airhead introduced the book, and my teacher listened to her massively stolen speech. Afterwards, just before she passes the info on to me, he suddenly begins to quiz her on the book, on the messages, on the theme, on the side characters, watching her face change as she at first looked at me to answer it, and then the teacher looked at her, making sure she was answering it, was priceless. It had lamented to me. She said she had no idea why she failed the class when the rest of us passed. Because you wanted to do nothing and get everything. Like, you don't get everything that you want. A kid told me I was too fat and old to understand handball. So I stopped holding back. Last week, a 50-year-old female was told by a 12-year-old boy I was too fat and too old to understand handball. I watched him play with the other kids for a bit, and he was a complete ass about it all. He deliberately taunted the younger kids, promised them he wouldn't get them out, then sent devastatingly fast balls at their heads, and pointed and laughed when they got out. He changed the rules so he never got out, and blatantly cheated. I inserted myself into the game. He was very condescending and promised to go easy on me. I smashed that ball all over the court. Low shots, high shots, balls would spin. He didn't stand a chance. The best bit was, after I got him out for the 4th time, all the other kids cheered. I spent the rest of the afternoon teaching the younger kids how to play while he sulked in the corner. Petty as fuck and immature as hell, but super satisfying to see him get his comeuppance. Yes, I'm a terrible person, but he was much nicer to the other kids the next day. For those wondering why a 50-year-old is playing with kids, I'm currently working as an out-of-school hours care educator in Australia. I'm talking about handball as in the lunchtime game played by school kids, also known as Foursquare. In this particular version of the game, you stand in a small square that is part of a larger square. You hit a tennis ball to each other with your hands. The squares are designated ace, king, queens, and dunce. If you're an ace and you get out, you go back to dunce. If you're in any of the other squares, you leave the field and someone else comes in. We don't play dodgeball, that's barbaric. I've never watched any of the shows that have been referenced, except in passing as I flip through channels. I was annoyed by both his attitude to the younger kids when he won, and by his assumptions about me based on my age, gender, and body shape. Hope that answers all the questions. So nice. It's like, yeah. I live in Australia. I know the rules of handball here in Australia. And if the kids are going to be cheating like that, I would be like, I'll call them out immediately. Every time. And then, if he turns around and says I'm too old, I'll just turn around and be like, huh, he's 22 old, and then just absolutely wreck him. A company gave out 10,000 flyers that had my phone number on them. This happened quite a long time ago when I had my first office job. I did fairly well, and after a while was promoted and got my own room, which with it came my own phone line. The day after it was installed, I arrived at work to find the message light blinking. I checked and the mailbox was full with 20 messages. Odd, I thought. There must be some mistake. There sure was. Message after message from people wanting to book a chalet. While I was still checking the messages, calls started coming in. Me. Hello? Yes, I want to book a chalet. Do you have one available for this weekend? You have the wrong number. Pause for a moment. But this is XXX, right? No, this is an office in town. Pauses again. But the number is XXXXXXX. Yes, that is my number, but this is an office. We don't have anything to do with chalets. But I want to book a chalet. We don't do chalets. You have the wrong number. But your number is XXXXXX, right? Yes, it's my number, but this is an office, not XXX. We don't do chalets. So the conversations went, and the moment I hung up, another call came in, and another. I had the phone off the hook all day. The next day, I decided to put the phone back, and it rang immediately. Hello? Hello, I want to book a chalet. You have the wrong number. Is this XXXXXX? Yes, that is my number, but this is not XXX. But the flyer says this number, XXXXXX. Flyer? What flyer? This flyer for a special offer on all chalets between the states. So I entered the call and looked for the main line of XXX company. I called them and told them I couldn't do any work because of all the calls that were coming in. Because they printed my number on their flyers. Me. So you printed my number on your flyers. My phone is ringing non-stop. I can't get any work done. Them. That is not possible. Do you have a flyer? Or the artwork? Yes, I'll just have a look and... Yes. Is that my number on your flyer? Yes. It must be a mistake. I'm sure it is. A big one. What are you going to do? The flyers have all been given out. There's nothing we can do. How many flyers were printed? 10,000. Oh, that is a big oof. They couldn't do anything. They didn't want to do anything. I asked them to pay for changing the line and they refused. They didn't offer anything and even asked me to direct all the callers to them at the correct numbers. So I started answering all the calls. It took a week, but I told everyone that we were fully booked until the end of the promotion. You just said, no, what you do is you said 10% on, the rest you tell is full. So you're not, like, the company's not losing business, but it's not getting all the business that it should be getting. And then you just be like, okay, that's all done. I'm going to end this episode here. Links will be in the description to my main channel and also the channel that you're on right now watching this exact video that has links on the screen to the playlist and the last episode. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video comes out. Ding, ding. I'm the Mad Scientist. Mad Scientist out.